Welcome to Business Exit Success, the podcast dedicated to helping small business owners on how they can successfully transition out of their business on their terms while also living a life of purpose and fulfillment after the sale. I am your host, certified financial planner and certified exit planning advisor, Tom Poltersdorf. Do I need to sell my business to retire? This is the question we will be discussing today. And honestly, it's not an easy question to answer because at the end of the day, it depends. And in some cases, the answer may be yes, you do need to sell your business if you have any interest in stepping away and retiring. So today we'll discuss how to think through this question. And if your answer is a yes or a no, what are some things to consider and do next? Let's start with if your answer is a yes, you need to sell your business to retire. In what situations would yes be your answer to this question? A common situation is you haven't saved and invested enough in a retirement plan or in assets outside of your business. So selling your business and getting something from it will be vital to funding the next chapter of your life. Maybe you don't have a 401k or a SEP IRA, or if you do, you're not putting enough away. Now, here lies another problem on top of that. Statistics show that there is less than a 20% chance a business will sell when it goes to market without any preparation or planning done in advance. This is stated by the Exit Planning Institute. So, assuming you're going to get maximum value for your business without any preparation or planning will not do well for you. And at the end of the day, it comes down to knowing the math for your specific situation. And I can boil it down to these three variables, which they're all dollar values. And the first one is, how much have I accumulated this far in investable assets and or real estate? How much is my business currently worth? And how much money do I need that can pay me an income stream to support my desired lifestyle post-transition? When you take how much you've saved so far and the current value of your business and compare those two numbers to how much you need to have by your desired transition out of your business, in most cases, there is a very large gap, especially when you factor in inflation, taxes, and fees on the business sale itself. The gap gets much larger. So with that said, there are really only two things you can do to fill the gap, and it usually requires you to do a combination of both when you are in this situation. So the first thing, start or increase how much you are saving and investing outside of the business. Start a retirement plan for your business if you don't have one. And if you do have one, increase your savings to it if your cash flow allows you to. Number two, start implementing strategies to increase the overall value of your business. For many business owners, they will most likely need to do both of these things to close the gap. So if this is you, speak with your certified financial planner or your CPA and have them run the numbers on how much you need to save and put away to ensure you're on track. Get your personal financial planning taken care of first so you get clarity on where you currently stand and what you need to do to achieve your personal and financial goals for the future. At the same time, get with an exit planning advisor to evaluate the business. Until you get an open market valuation of your business and get a business assessment done, it's very difficult to understand how much your business is worth. And through this process, you will also identify your strengths and weaknesses and can put an action plan in place to enhance the business value, which in turn increases the likelihood of a potential transition down the road when you're ready. Now, I've talked about this at length many times on my podcast. This is exit planning, when you align your personal financial goals and objectives with your business to get you where you want to be. Okay, so let's flip it now. What would be a situation where someone doesn't need to sell their business to retire? And I can think of one or two situations here. First thing that comes to mind in order for someone to answer this question this way, they must have done the math. So when they considered all of their savings and investings outside of the business, they know those assets can pay or will be able to pay in the future an income stream that will support their lifestyle without having to liquidate their business. That is a phenomenal position to be in, right? Because you're not depending on any business fluctuations and depending on a buyer to be there if you want to exit. You already have that funded with your personal expenses. and you have much more choices on your timing and when you want to actually liquidate your business or slowly transition out. Again, it's up to you. You now have the control because you've done the planning outside. Now, another situation could be someone has assets saved up outside of the business, and they have also done the work on their business to make it attractive to a buyer, meaning they have a succession plan in place. So if something happens to the owner, it can continue to grow. There have been enhancement initiatives implemented within the business to increase its enterprise value, and they have a recent valuation done on the business. So they've done exit planning, right? They've done all that work in advance. If done correctly, they should have an attractive business. So in summary, in order to be confident that you don't need to sell your business to retire, you must have done the financial planning and business planning upfront. Now, many times this is not done, or it's partially done. Maybe an owner has taken care of the personal side, but hasn't worked on their business. Or another situation is maybe owners are working on the business, but they've paid no attention to the personal side of their own personal financial planning. So many times these situations are not done, or the numbers that are used are complete guesses, right? It's based on napkin math. Personal expenses are not getting tracked because many owners funnel those personal expenses through the business to get the write-offs. And what happens is when you do the math, you find out you're living on much more than you think, which once you exit and sell your business, those expenses now need to be funded by your own personal dollars. Hence why the gap between what you have and what you need tends to be very large. Ultimately, preparing yourself and your business for a successful transition is super hard work, but it's critical to ensure you can take care of you, your family, and your employees. Determining your numbers on how much you have and what you will need for your financial future will give you the roadmap on what you need to do. The last thing you want is to wake up and you're 65, 70 years old to then figure out your numbers and you realize you don't have enough saved. And you find out on top of that your business isn't worth as much as you thought. And now you have less time, energy, and motivation to do the necessary work. Start your planning well in advance and position yourself to exit and retire from your business on your terms. Hey, everybody, real quick before you take off, if you found this episode helpful in any way, please rate the podcast and leave a review. I would love to get your feedback and see if there are any topics you'd like to hear more about going forward. Thank you, and I appreciate you all very much.